Would you fight for my heart? The first woman I loved was possibly the last. I kept my love hidden. I thought it yearned to see the light. She was my first kiss when we were two young girls playing house. I would be dad, and she would be the mom. Her plushies are kids. She kissed me on the mouth once, then ran away laughing. Her laughter like music to my ears. She always had a musical laugh, one that would haunt me every day for the next few years. I knew it was different from other girls, in the way that I dressed and in the way that I liked girls instead of boys. I had a hard time already with my grandmother, who was the last living relative that I had. She would say that I dressed too much like a boy and that it was not right. A young girl had to look pretty. She should not cut her hair short, and she should not hang out at skate parks. I already knew her opinion on lesbian people, that it was an abomination, and I did not have anyone, even if I wanted to leave. All I had was Olivia, and even she was a child just like me. So I loved sweet Olivia for many years, and that brief kiss would play in my mind nearly every night. When no one wanted to hang out with me because I was the weirdo, she did not care. She included me in everything that happened in her life, and no one could say no to her. There came a time when I had to come to terms with who I was, that I told Olivia my secret. See, Olivia was a preacher's child. I did not expect any acceptance from her, but I knew she would always keep my secret regardless of the outcome. This was when we were in our senior year of high school, and we were only left with a few weeks to graduate. What I did not expect was for her to shower me in love. You will always be my Diana. I suspected it, but I did not want to make assumptions. This does not change anything. I will always be there for you. This made me fall in love with her even more. Over the years, I had tried to stop loving her, but nothing could break her hold over me. She owned my heart, and she had no idea. I did not go to college for two reasons. Firstly, there was no money for it, and I was unsure about what I wanted to do. Secondly, my grandmother was sick, and as insufferable as she often was, I could not go away and leave her. I got a job at a small shop that sold antiques. That was where I met Sally, who was just a few years older than me, the owner of the shop. A few months later, I started working there. My grandmother found out that I was lesbian and kicked me out. There was a woman I used to hook up with. We did not have feelings for each other. It was purely physical. But some people found out, and word got to my grandmother. I did not care anymore, and Sally let me stay at her place until I could afford to live on my own. For the first time in years, I was apart from Olivia, and I did not take it too well, but I managed to visit her a couple of times. She also came on the holidays. One night, I made a mistake that changed everything for us. She came home but seemed off. I investigated and soon I got to the bottom of it. It seemed that her boyfriend of 3 years was cheating on her, and she did not know what to do. I was incredibly upset and resolved to give him a piece of my mind the next time that I saw him. She was always too good for him. She asked me to spend the night at her parents' house, and we snuggled and talked about random things. We reminisced about all we had gotten up to in the past and laughed until early in the night. "I do not know what I would do without you," she suddenly said. "What are you talking about? You have so many friends in college." I was puzzled. "There's no one who truly gets me as you do. Most of them thought I should forgive him since he's so popular and set up for success," she sighed. "He's an idiot and you're too good for him. I know that you'll become greater than him." I stroked her hair. She smiled and looked at me for a moment. I do not know who moved first between me and her, but soon, my lips were on hers and I did not want the moment to end. It was so pure and untainted by all the messed up stuff that was going on in our lives. We pulled away after a while and just looked at each other. Then, I realized what I had done, and started to apologize. She said that she did not mean to, she was just shaken by the breakup, which I completely understood. But that kiss set in motion a series of events that I never thought I would be part of. The next morning, things were not normal between us, and I was not sure if it was because of what had happened. By this time, everyone knew that I was a lesbian, so I did not have that many friends, but the hate was not that bad. Either way, when her parents found out that I had stayed the night, they were upset with her and warned her to be careful of me. We decided that we would hang out at my place from then on. I had recently gotten a small apartment. She went back to college in a few days, but whenever I was around her, I found it hard to concentrate. I knew that I could not be with her. She did not love me in that way, so I told myself to forget. But then, the next time that I went to go visit her, things became worse. She was no longer the person that I knew. She had somehow changed. She was drinking now, and becoming a party animal, which was not who she used to be, and to top it off, I found out that she was back together with the same guy that had cheated on her. To say I was disappointed would be an understatement. We argued on the day that I was there, and she left me in her room to go and party. Not even an hour later, she was back, and she was hysterical. I'm not happy here. We broke up again. He cheated on me again. I'm such a fool, she said, taking a swig from some bottle. I took the bottle from her and placed it on the nightstand. You'll become sick, I said. I already am sick of pretending to be someone I'm not. Who am I? My parents' perfect child? A trophy girlfriend? A girl making bad decisions? She started crying. I brought her in closer to me. I cared so much for her and wished that I could solve all her problems. We had always taken care of each other, and that had not changed in any way. I gave her some water, and soon she was feeling better. Let us sleep now. I don't know why I kissed you that time, but it felt like the only right thing I had done in a while. She could easily take my breath with just a few words. That was not fair. You do not know what you're talking about, I laughed nervously. She looked at me, then leaned in and kissed me. Even though logic told me to pull her away from me, my heart and my body had other plans. When I pulled away, she gave me a look of desire, and I was pulled back into her embrace one more time. Our clothes left our bodies, and soon the only warmth I had was from her body. Where she touched me, I felt tingled. And just like that, we gave in to our desires. Afterwards, she curled up in my arms and fell asleep. I could not sleep, as all I was thinking about was that I had just been intimate with the woman that I loved. I was on a high, and each time I looked at her, everything played out again. I think I passed out from exhaustion. The next morning, we did not say anything about last night. I was not even sure that she remembered. But before I left to go home, she finally said something. Last night, I felt safe with you. I have so much to sort out. I need to figure out how I'm feeling, she said. Thank you for your honesty, and whenever you decide, I'll be here for you, okay? I brought her in for a warm hug. I hated leaving her, but we both had a life to get back to. I hoped that she would be okay. We talked a bit over the next couple of days, and she said that she would try to sort out her life and figure out who she wanted to be. I was not expecting her to come to my workplace a few days after that. Did you skip school? And I thought I was a rebel. I cannot always be a law-abiding citizen. I spoke to Sally, she said, and I can steal you. She said I was impressed by her charm. Sally was nice, but very strict when it came to working. We took a walk around town until we came to sit at some rocks. I've been thinking. Yes, Olivia? I have always known I loved you, but I thought it was a friendly love. But everything has changed now. I see things in a different light, she confessed. I waited for her to continue. I love you and I want to see where this goes, she said. Say it again. I love you, Diana. No one gets me as you do. I could not help breaking down in tears. I was prepared to love her until I learned my lesson and stopped. I thought she would never look at me the way that she did when she was saying all those words. I guess I was completely wrong. You know we can't be together, right? Why, my family? I'm tired of living my life to make them happy, but I need a while to understand my feelings. I completely understood where she was coming from. I let her rest her head on my shoulder, and we were silent for a while. But then we had to go soon, for I had work and she had to go back to school. I was happy that she had feelings for me, but I was not holding my breath. Her family would never let us be together. Either way, we took our time, exploring and building our relationship. As the months went by, it was difficult because most of the time she was at school and I was at work. We would both sacrifice a bit to get to see each other, but that just made the moments we had more precious. I found a better job, close to where she was studying, so I had to move away. I was not sad, just hopeful about what the future held for me. I had never felt welcomed in that town. Hopefully, I would have a better experience. While we were officially dating, we could not be open about it because she was not ready. She was also going through a lot of stuff at school, but we helped each other through the difficulties. We were happy together, and unfortunately made the mistake of thinking that it would last forever. I got a call from her in the middle of the night, telling me that her parents knew about us and wanted her to come back home as soon as possible. She was scared and did not know what to do. She told me that she was not sure she could stay strong, and she was scared of them. She had to hang up, but I took my bike and made my way over to her house. It was a 2-hour drive from my apartment, but it felt like it was longer. When I got there, there was chaos and a lot of shouting coming from the house. When I knocked, no one answered, and then I heard her screams. I shouted for help, convinced that they were doing something to her, but of course, the neighbors did not pay heed to my screams. Maybe they already knew what was happening in there. Eventually, her dad, looking very furious, opened the door and told me to leave. I had already corrupted his daughter enough. They were trying to save her, and my presence was not required. I was stumped, with no clue as to what was happening. That was when I called Sally and told her what was going on. A couple of minutes later, she arrived with the police in tow. Now the neighbors were coming out of their houses to see what was going on. I informed the officers that my friend was being held against her will there. They were confused, but demanded that the parents open the door. When they did not, they had to break it open. Even though many people tried to stop me, I ran into the house to check up on her. My heart tore into many pieces when I saw her, gagged and bound, with her father holding a Bible and saying incoherent words. Her mother was standing there, a look of panic on her face when she saw me and the police. So this is what had happened. They had forcibly removed her from school and were trying to exorcise her because she said that she was a lesbian. It seemed that they had lost it when someone had gotten hold of a picture of us in a loving embrace. I had no idea who would do such a thing, but I would not put it past the toxic girls she had been hanging out with at school. She was alright, just traumatized. She decided not to press charges, but came to stay with me after the incident. She told me that they started the exorcism because she kept on telling him that she loved me. I asked her why she didn't lie and spare herself. Her response was, "You have done so much for me. The least I could do was endure the pain because I love you." I cradled her head into my chest. The entire moment was bittersweet. I had always seen her as fragile, but Olivia was the strongest person I knew. She cut off all ties with her family and filed a restraining order. It was funny how her parents talked about love and kindness, yet failed to respect their daughter's choice of who to love. It was now out in the open that we were together, and we did not care in the slightest. When she finally recovered, we went for our very first public date. I could not get over how perfect she looked, but of course, she said that I looked better. We got a few stares when we gave each other a peck in the street. She smirked, a warning sign that she was up to no good. "Want to give them a show?" she smirked. They'll stare at us." "Have they ever seen two girls in love before?" she grinned, tilting my chin down and kissing me for a few seconds. She then smiled and took my hand, leading me into the restaurant. I smiled. She was proud to be with me, and that made me love her even more. We had our food, which was delicious. She chatted most of the time, which I was happy to let her do. I was the quieter one out of the both of us, and that worked perfectly. "So babe, what are you going to do about school?" I asked. "I'm going to apply for a student loan. I do not have that much time left, and have you decided what you want to be?" she asked. "No, but I'm thinking of starting a business, maybe selling handmade art, etc. Sally taught me all she knows, and she said that she can help me start it," I said. "I think that'd be great. So proud of you, my love." She kissed my hand. My heart swelled. We are not perfect. We are prone to clash over several matters, but I'm smitten. She brings color into my monochromatic world. But she disagrees, citing that I'm the one who helped her figure out who she wants to be. That is not an argument that any of us seem to be winning anytime soon. There was a time when I was filled with self-loathing, not seeing any way out of being the failure that I was. But now, I looked forward to each day, knowing that it's all in my hands. I do not have a lot of people who love me, but I have Sally, who is like an older sister, and my Olivia. I just hope that the next generation will not have to hide who they are, like we had to. Everyone deserves to fall in love, no matter how they look or identify. The end. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become part of our Rainbow Force and stay wholesome.